Once you've created a new artwork, you return to the artwork edit screen, and there's a number of other features that you can access from here. So here's the artist that we've entered, the owner, and if you're familiar with the option of going straight to the owner's file by clicking on the chevron title of the field, or changing the artist or owner by clicking into the drop-down menu that's available. So tabbing through the fields or using the return key to tab through the fields, you can amend or alter details as you need to. Artwork is framed feature allows you to specify who framed the artwork, the frame dimensions, and again, if you've got auto formatting of dimensions turned on, all I need to do here when it comes to the frame dimensions is enter the height and the width and tab out of the field, and the frame dimensions will be formatted as I've selected. You can specify who's paid for the frame for reference purposes when it comes to paying artists or charging a client, and specify the cost of the frame. Paper dimensions for works on paper. Again, you've got the option of entering the 2 dimensions and having test reformat those as you want, or you can go back in and alter and amend those manually if need be. Categorizing the painting. This is useful especially when it comes time to producing inventory reports. Categorizing the medium as well, and the medium field has a notes option which allows you to add notes to specify production details. This is useful particularly for artists who want to keep track of how and when an artwork was created. You can also add photographs of the artwork as it's being produced, details about whether it's paints or paintbrushes used, whatever it may be. You can keep an accurate record of the details of the artwork. There's a template feature in the production notes section that allows you to enter regularly entries that you might make into a template, such as paintbrushes or paint or whatever it may be. And when you create a new note, having entered details into the template, these details automatically be entered, making it easier for you to add your own details. If you haven't already done so at the time of creation, you can mark an artwork as being an edition, either a single edition, where you'd enter the edition number here in the field if there's only one artwork that you are representing or selling, or a multiple edition, where you mark it as multiple and make sure that your stock entry reflected the number of items that you had. When it comes time to sell the artwork, you'll be given the option to enter the correct edition number. Price you will have entered at the time of creation, but you can edit these at any time, either from this screen or by clicking on the edit button. If an artwork is being marked as having a frame, then the price will be highlighted in blue, making it easy for you to note which artworks have frames. So retail price, purchase price, and the other payment amounts can be accessed using the edit button here, and this gives you an expanded view. So if we look at the retail price here, we've got the option of altering tax rates if, for any example, a particular artwork isn't subjected to tax, perhaps it's being exported, and you can have an understanding of what the retail price would be without tax. As you amend the prices, the retail prices, over time, a log is automatically kept of the time and date that the changes were made, and you can export this log to a text or an Excel document if need be. Purchase price, you have the option of entering the price that you paid for the artwork, the date, and any purchase details. The payable amount. If there's an amount payable on sale of the artwork, most commonly this will be for a gallery who's representing an artist and needs to pay them on sale. This is where you'd specify that this was the case and how the payment is calculated, either whether it's a fixed amount or whether it's a percentage amount. You specify the details here and the amounts are reflected below. When you sell the artwork and add it to the invoice, you'll be noted as to what amount is payable, and reports will detail these amounts. You can amend those amounts at the time. For example, if there's been a discount on an invoice that the artist will need to absorb, then you can make the changes then. But these features here work as a template, and more often than not there'll be an accurate representation of the amount that you need to pay. There's an artwork expenses tab. This allows you to keep track of common repairs or other items, framing for example, that might need to be made to an artwork, and you can keep an account of the payment mode and perhaps a comment on what and when and why that might have been done. And these expenses are totaled so that you can give an idea of what your artwork should be selling for. Valuations allow you to specify a date of evaluation. This may be more relevant for a collector of artworks. You can specify the valuer, and again, using the drop-down menu, you can add regularly used values to this field and a comment, so you've got an ongoing valuation of the artwork. There's also a valuation statistics button that allows you to compare the percentage changes and the value changes against the valuation and purchase price, or the retail price and the purchase price. Back on the edit screen, you get some details, for example, that this price includes tax or when the last valuation was made in the fields adjacent to the amounts. Other pricing details includes the ability to show an exchange price. Click on the exchange button and the default exchange rate screen will load from the web, and you can specify your own conversion site if need be. You can enter here the conversion rate and the currency, the code for the currency, so that you get a feedback here as to what the currency is and how much it is for the in-exchange amount. There's an interest shown button. This allows you to mark an artwork as being interested in one or more clients. So you get a quick way of looking at an artwork and having an idea of who is interested in it, and you can move straight to their account to give them a call or an email or whatever it may be. There's a keywords field that allows you to enter any number of keywords by clicking on the keywords available. You've got a manage keywords button that lets you add any number of keywords or edit their names at any time, and you can have a look by using these buttons to see which artworks use which keywords and jump straight to them from this screen. The stock and sales buttons, these are automatically populated with at least one artwork when you create an artwork, and that may all you ever need to do, because when the artwork is sold, the stock level will be reduced by 1 if you sell that one artwork. But for multiple artworks, or if for any other reason you need to make changes, you can add additional stock. So we can add 2 more items here, specify the date that it was added, so you can keep a running track of the stock totals, which are reflected here in this chart, which show you how many items are sold, what's remaining, the values, and so on. You can have a look at the stock level for the current artwork, or by using this button, look immediately at the stock available for the current artist. So this shows you everything that is available for the artist. This item here you can see is sold out, but these other items will give you a total, a retail total, and a summary of the total value. You can also look at all artists and see the totals available for all artists. From the same screen, you can have a look at sales for this individual artwork, sales for this particular artist, all sales that they may have made, or all sales for all artists. You can print a report from here, but this will not be as comprehensive as the reports you can do from the report screen. But these buttons here, the stock and sales buttons, give you access to the screen, and it's a quick and easy way to get feedback on what levels of stock you have or what sales that have been made. Tessera includes a consignments feature, which is accessible through here through the reports component of Tessera, and here you can specify and create consignment documents and place artworks out on consignment, or perhaps into the gallery on consignment from people entered into your client database. So here, consignments are covered separately in the help files, but here we have a consignment document. It's called loan, and this specifies that the artwork here, all the horses, has been consigned out to George Friend on this particular date. So look elsewhere for more details on producing consignments, but if we go back to the artworks section and look at the edit screen, we can see next to the consignment button that there is the number 1 indicating that this artwork is out on at least one consignment, or what previously on perhaps some consignments in the past. If we click on the button here, this will give you feedback as to whether it's consigned in and out, whether the consignment is active, and who it is consigned to, and you can move straight to the consignment from the screen. The status field can be used for any purpose you like, but allows you to specify perhaps if an artwork is out on repair, or if it's out on loan, whatever it may be. And when you produce inventory reports, you can filter by this field, so you could produce perhaps an inventory report that specified all artworks that were being repaired or out on loan. The status details field allows you to add some notes to this status, and you can also link it to a client. For example, if this was reserved by a client, or if it was out on loan to a client, you could specify the client's name here. Tessera can store any number of images you need for an individual artwork. Access the images component by clicking here on the images button. Here you can see we've already got one image loaded. We can click on the image itself. We can copy this image or export this image. And we can also specify whether this is the primary image for this artwork. So the primary image is the image that will be shown throughout Tessera relating to this artwork. You've got the option of producing thumbnails if you want to copy from Tessera to use elsewhere. And depending on the image size, you can reduce the image size if you've imported and using particularly large images, which may not be relevant for use within Tessera. There's a button that also gives you information on the image itself. So you can add a new image. If you're on an iOS device, you can use the camera or insert from your album. On a desktop, you can access an image or a film or whatever you need to insert that's relevant to this artwork. Catalog numbers for an artwork can be shown here. Tessera includes a collection feature accessible from the Reports Plus screen. It allows you to create events, and events can be any number of artworks, and you can give them catalog numbers. So depending on which collection you specify, because an artwork may belong to a number of collections, the artwork catalog number will show here. So by selecting an event, you'll see the relevant event catalog number displayed here. Artwork files, this allows you to add any number of files to your artwork. So this could be Word documents, it could be other additional images or any other kind of media that you want associated with this file. Websites allows you to specify websites that are relevant to the particular artwork or to the artist, and these can be entered and viewed from within Tessera. You can add any number of additional fields to Tessera to document your artwork. Only 5 of these can be displayed at a time. You access this feature using the Edit button here. So by adding a field, add a field or any number of fields that you need to specify your artwork. And then over here, you specify which of these fields that you want to have displayed. So we can click in here, add a field, then add data for that field. You can do that here or back on the other screen. So this is a way of showing the additional data. But at any time, even if this data has been removed, you can reinstate it by selecting the relevant field. This allows you to have any number of fields displayed within Tessera, but only the 5 that you specify can be displayed here at any one time. There are also a few dedicated fields that allow you to store information that's traditional for artwork, such as inscriptions, where and when an artwork was signed, and these edit buttons here give you an expanded field, so you've got more room to play with. The provenance of the artwork, literature, where it's been referenced in literature, collections, where it was sourced from, where it's been exhibited, and so on, and a comments field that allows you to add any number of comments that can then be exported if need be.